come with this bill, can you, the mover or yourself, can you wait for 1 month, for example, or 2 months? Would there be something really between 2 weeks that...
no, for us, we are cabinet. It goes through cabinet, it comes here. If we thought that there was something fundamental, we'll take it back to cabinet. But we don't think there's anything fundamental.
Is cabinet still sitting, for example?
The last time I checked, we are
sitting, and it's going to sit next week.
Mr. Honorable Odur, you want to take us out quickly?
Chair, thank you.
You deal with substantiality if you're going away from the object. Here, what the object is maintained, the tutu is maintained. In some places, we are just adding subject to tutu for avoidance of doubt. So we had an interpretation, like for example, the interpretation of whether money from Ugandans in the diaspora would be subject to this law. When I came here, I told you no, the interpretation of this law doesn't mean that. But after hearing it, we said, what is the point? Let us just put for avoidance of doubt. This is what it is. So I don't think it substantially changes. I've missed a question that Honorable Nambooze. Some of the questions I think were addressed to you, whether it would be appropriate to reopen to the public. That's for the committee to decide. I brought a bill. What else will I change? Honorable Nambooze, for me, in my line of work, flexibility in changing thoughts is actually a good thing because I like to learn new things. So if you give me advice and you think that something may cause a problem, even after I leave now and I go back and read this thing and someone comes and says, by the way, when you read this clause, it may have this meaning. I do not have the monopoly of this knowledge, so I benefit from that information. So I could come back to you to change something.
Why you raised it, Mr. Attorney General?
I know why you raised it.
Yes. And I want you to address that.
The why you raised it is, should we, because you're saying we might...
What I was trying to say is that haven't we limited ourselves to rush through this act? That maybe you would bring a better bill given more time.
Yeah, actually, if you gave me 2 years, the circumstances will be different. I'll probably bring you a different thing. Whether it's better is one thing, different is another. Because this law 2 years ago would not have been here. Necessary. 10 years ago would not have been necessary. So time, the law that we are writing now is for the circumstances that obtain now.
Mr. Attorney General, I'm of the opinion, tell me if I'm wrong, I'm of the opinion that we have rushed this bill. And that is why when people come, we did not consult those we had to consult. That's why we are now picking thoughts from people who have been able to appear before the committee. Maybe if we had given ourselves some more time and consulted all the stakeholders, we would come up with a law that is agreeable, not controversial, but that we would legislate for Uganda, not necessarily like as if we are fighting each other. Everybody who came here, apart from one person, was against the bill, including people from government departments.
Yeah, so I think you have. I cannot disagree with your opinion. That is your opinion, and I cannot really fight with it.
AG also on page 13 on the issue granted this exception. You have removed the population which has been here since Friday. People have gone back. You have now left with only one activity, and that's political activities. So that's why the substantiation of this bill is coming up on this matter.
I think, Honorable Erike, there's a job that I do, there's a job that you do. Mine is to tell you what I am telling you now. If I sit here and decide for the committee what is substantial, then I may as well come and tell you what to take and what not to take. So you need to be clear as to who is doing what job. I cannot sit here. In my view, I don't think it's substantial. But my view doesn't count because a decision is a decision of the committee.
Okay, thank you. Now, just briefly to supplement Honorable Nambooze, I'm with this bill. Can you, the mover or yourself, can you wait for 1 month, for example, or 2 months? Would there be something really between 1 to 2 weeks that?
No, for us, we are cabinet. It goes through cabinet, it comes here. If we thought that there was something fundamental, we'd take it back to cabinet. But we don't think there's anything fundamental.
Is cabinet still sitting, for example?
The last time I checked, we are
sitting, and it's going to sit next week.
Mr. Honorable Odur, you want to take us out quickly?
Chair, thank you. And the minister, maybe I was very unfortunate I did not get any of my issues responded to, specifically when I had pointed out 7.4. No, you didn't respond to one of Bosco. 7.4.
Yeah, sorry, 7.4, you're correct. I thought I'd responded to it.
Yes.
Yeah, it should be a policy.
Okay.
An agent of a foreigner who knowingly develops and implements a policy in Uganda, not a government policy.
Not a government
policy.
A
policy in Uganda. I addressed the 13 on how it was.
So we delete government.
We delete government, yes.
Okay, that would suffice. Then lastly,
the issue of deemed and no, maybe the minister can address that, but I'd rather you provide clear action. Deeming is not a very appropriate thing to do.
Okay.
You would rather give the minister a particular time to give, like we have done, to respond within 14 days.
Then just two concerns only. One, the fines, yes. We are looking at this as deterrent fines, right? But when you look at the fines, we have both custodial and a fine. Custodial, we are looking at about 20 years. When you look at a fine, if you convert the currency points, it takes us to about 2 billion. Usually, if we have the alternative of a fine, it's like a leeway for one to realize that, yes, I think I've made a mistake under the circumstances, but court tells you pay this fine and get back to reintegrate it into the community. But if you look at the harshness with which we have our fine of 2 billion shillings in our Uganda, I think it becomes a bit very more deterrent and even custodial. Then lastly, on the issue of 2.2, we have on several paragraphs used the word solicit. AG, when you go to solicit, sometimes you don't know whether you get or you will not what? Get. So, yes. But you may be successful or unsuccessful.
You said you
so
just declare.
I don't know what we are soliciting. Can we do away with that word soliciting and we use others?
Actually, that's where the problem starts. I rest my case, Honorable Chair.
Order.
Those words of Honorable Oyuelo may be attributed to me.
AJ, I don't know whether you are part of the words.
Okay. No, but I think the soliciting you have already conceptualized. The mens rea is in place. You have started the process, and you're just failing to get through.
And lastly, the AG had. I spoke to the teas. When I spoke here, I remember Honorable Basadi was saying he's looking at me. I don't know what that meant. But we leave it to you to consider with the prayer that you don't do away with the element of deterrence, but also not being inherently punitive even before, so you can make a balance of the two.
Thank you.